Sandy, please describe the events that caused you to fall behind initially on your credit card.
Sure. Well, I started my own business, and it was doing all right, but then the economy took a downturn. So I began more and more to rely on my credit card for everyday expenses, for food, for gas, and it just started to mount before I even realized that I was living on my credit card.
When you realized that you were falling behind, was the credit card, were they willing to help you as far as maybe reducing that interest rate to allow you to pay it back or to get off of living on that card?
No, and that was real surprising. They weren't much help, and it was really hard to get someone to listen to me. I had to keep asking for the supervisor, and I don't know, I just felt like I was going around and around and getting nowhere. I just didn't seem to get much help.
When did you realize that debt settlement was your best option? Is it when you couldn't get a manager or couldn't get anybody to hear you out?
Well, that of course upset me, that I was feeling like no one was listening. But the worst part is I could not see any way out. I could barely do a minimum payment, and how I could see that this was going to be a lifetime issue. It was going to ruin my life. And I didn't know where to go, really. I had no options right away until I heard about the world law debt. And then I started researching, what can I do? What are my possible options here?
What ultimately made you decide to go with World Law? Was it the enrollment specialist that you spoke with that explained the program and the savings?
Actually, the enrollment specialist was really, really nice. He talked about his own trauma and tribulations with debt, and he made me feel like I wasn't bad, that I wasn't totally a delinquent. He spoke of his own issues and how hard it was for him and what World Law had done for him. It sounded, too good to be true. I didn't know there was anything like that.
What was your initial reaction after you spoke with your legal assistant, the representative from World Law?
Well, I felt that she was wonderful, very helpful, very sympathetic. She didn't talk down to me or make me feel bad. She gave me great advice, and she was calm, and she was always there. It was like a counselor, both mental and financial.
Was she able to respond to your questions promptly when you had questions, be it email or if you had to call her on the phone?
Yeah, she was very prompt, email and phone. And sometimes she just called me out of the blue and asked if everything was okay. So I felt like we were in close contact, and we were staying in touch at a fairly regular intervals. It didn't ever feel like, I wonder if they're still there. I never felt that way. Yeah, they were very good. Valerie was very good about being prompt and reassuring and answering my questions.
We had you signed up for a program. The initial agreement you signed showed a program of 42 months. How long did it take until you were able to actually graduate from the program?
It took me 10 months, which really surprised me. But I was so excited and so motivated that there was a way out that I just began scraping and saving and borrowing and utilizing and going for it. Nothing could stop me.
Once Valerie had called and told you that everything was settled and that your final creditor was paid off, what was going through your mind at that time?
Oh, well, at first it was kind of hard to believe. It was, but then I just had this total relief come over me. Like something lifted off my shoulders. It was an unbelievable feeling to be free and no longer feeling the pressure. I mean, it was on my mind every single day, the debt. And I think it takes its toll. So to actually have that lifted, it's hard to put in words. It's an unbelievable feeling of being proud again.
You had some concerns as far as if you were looking for a job and the employer looking at your credit report? Do you have any of those concerns anymore?
I don't think that's so important when you're a motivated hard worker looking for a job. I don't think they should be concerned about it.
Would you recommend World Law to anybody in need of debt assistance?
Oh, well, I would definitely recommend it to somebody because I know how it feels. I would definitely be sympathetic towards them.
What advice would you give to anybody that was considering signing up with World Law?
The advice would be that you really have nothing to lose by trying it except for your overwhelming debt, and that it would restore your life back to normal again, and you would be free of the worry and the constant hanging over you, this heavy debt. It's not good. It's not a good feeling. And why wouldn't you want to try to get out from under that rock? And so I would say go for it. Why wouldn't you?